Hello, hello. What's going on, guys? What's up, Brian? Excuse me. All right. All right, all right, all right. Playing DSP. Oh yeah, I saw they added blueprints. I did see that. I haven't played the game since I streamed it. Okay, so we said we are gonna cast playoffs today, but I'm gonna cast one other series from the group stage because it's quite important. So Group D, you may remember, had Yudi and Adjects in it. We saw them play. The other players that had Archsimcat and Inspector Cott. So here we have the series between Arch and Adjects. So Ballister. So game one of their best of 3 is on Badlands. And Adjects has Cyber, and so does Arch, which is interesting. Now I remember Arch playing Blackheart in the series. I remember Arch playing on Badlands against Blackheart anyway. Maybe it wasn't a full series, maybe it was one game, but I remember Arch just running over everything with Mantis for a long time. He just full Mantis spam. But eventually Blackheart won. But it was a tight game. What's up, Suki? Wagwan. Do you good? So, Arch. Ooh, I don't think that's a good build. Well, let's see actually. Okay, so he's actually gone for 5 pigeons, second land. And I was thinking maybe this isn't good, but he's actually going to basically build this Hydro very slowly and prioritize expansion towards mexes. So it's not the old build order that Zoc used to use all the time, which is not really used anymore. This is sort of like it's a different version. It's related, but that's interesting. He really yeah, I kind of like that move. So he really delays the Hydro to the last second and then expands very quickly to the right. Now he's going to use his AC over here to build the next Hydro very quickly. And he's really not going to have to build many pigeons for a while because he's going to get this Hydro and then he's going to get this one. And he's probably, yeah, he's got this one queued up as well. Good to hear, Suki. This raid not going to work on the bottom side. Arch with less HP. And he even gets reclaimed by Adjects NG. Nice one. Same the Invitational. I was invited and then as I was casting, basically at the end of casting the qualifier, I just realized while with Swackle that I wasn't going to be available for the playoff stage. So I didn't play at all. Expansion's not even faster. At this point, no. However, if you look, his hydros are faster. For example, this one. Arch actually has all 4 hydros. Problem is he's overflowing. So maybe with this build... Oh, he actually doesn't have this one. Maybe he should go for more air with this build. But, yeah, I mean, Adjects... Once again, you must remember that Adjects has been around forever. And has been a top player forever. He knows how these maps are played. And I think these are his best kind of maps. This, 10x10 land is sort of his bread and butter. Also a good 5x5 player. Well, just good all round. But I'd say probably 10x10 is where he's most comfortable on these classic maps. Mantis really being annoying, but it looks like they'll be caught out and killed before they get to the back. The anti-air actually finishes off the Mantis. Nice one. But Arch allowing units to get past him. And he's going to lose this engineer, which is building the factory and has some other things queued up. And those Mantis are not going to be caught before they get through to the back. And units are going to have to be sent back. Keep running, guys. Don't let them get away. Why do NGs on attack move not reclaim for me? Are you sure you're attack moving? Or are you giving like an attack order or something? Well, actually no, you can't. It's probably just you have more than, I don't know, 85, 90% mass bar. Then they won't reclaim. They won't reclaim anything that just gives mass. So, what's going on in Adjects base? He has a bit more... Oh, yeah, he's going to Tech 2 land now. Nice balance of eco. He's going to get rid of some of that mass. He has quite a bit of reclaim to grab. He's going to focus on... You can see here. This is a good decision. He's going to focus on getting this reclaim, which is contested first. And then engineers will be sent to the reclaim. That really can't be contested. Much better to go for the... reclaim in the middle of the map before the reclaim on your side, if you have the option in this case. Arch is in the middle with his AC, which is a strange place to be. Strange because there's 4 mexes there, quite spread out, and there's no reclaim to secure. So Adjects on the left hand side around this mountain is basically gonna be able to control this and allow his NGs to get the reclaim. And he's on the way to T2 land, and Arch is not. And we're like, what, 7.5 minutes? And Arch is just not making Tech 2 land. There's not really a reason for it. He has the resources. He has more than enough. And he's lacking factories. And lacking Tech 2. If he's going to be this far behind on Tech 2 land, it's going to turn pretty ugly for him. Tech 2 PGen almost finished for Adjects, and he's only got 560 power, so he's really... Look at how few T1 PGens he's built. 7. Just 7. So that's really good, because Tech 1 PGens are just not nearly as efficient as hydrocarbons or even Tech 2 PGens. And now Adjects will increase his air production, take control of air. He will have the advantage in land. Once he has, well, let's see, what's that? 3 factories upgrading to Tech 2. The question is, will he die to all these units? Because Adjects is a bit certainly lacking in some Tech 1. Arch hasn't made any Tech 2 mexes, which is quite unusual for Badlands. It's a bit strange now. I mean, he's only adding extra factories over here now. He really has a huge amount of mass in the bank, and that's why I was saying he was low on factories, because he hadn't got Tech 2 and he hadn't made any economy. If you make some mexes, then you're gonna be able to afford less factories, but as it was, he could have had quite a few more, and now he's actually taking the fight in the middle. Whoa, he's actually making the gun at the front line. I guess that's one advantage of having more units to your opponent. You can afford to stand at the front and make the gun. Well, no wonder he has so much mass and so little power at this stage. So, yeah, what's up, Bryce? We should get some epic games. No, he cancelled his upgrade. He cancelled his upgrade. How close was that? He must have been like 99%. He doesn't have the gun. Adjects now drops on the side, or, well, when did that happen? On the right hand side. Nasty raid getting through. On the left hand side, an even nastier one, and there's going to be Medusa as well, so the factory will go down very, very quickly. The Mantis are going to run through, kill the Mexes. At least some of them. The Medusa will kill the rest, and they'll run to the back. See that there are... It's just a lot of Tech 1, and there's so many Medusa. Of all the Tech 1, it's more Medusa than Mantis, which is very strange. There's 12 Rhinos for Adjects. He's lacking intel now. He's losing Hydros, entire expansions. The Rhino's just struggling to get around. Maybe some faster units would have been better, for example, or even just a Tech 2 PD in the expansion would be very helpful to control a lot more space. Adjects falling back now, but he's very healthy. He's got a lot of health. Arch with the gun cancellation at the last second, though. Actually does manage to cut out a raid back here, which is very important, because once they get into the very back, it could be nasty. These guys are providing reclaim, and there's mexes there. Tech 2 air for Adjects, but guess what? He just lost air control to Arch, who was just spamming like a madman. And Arch is pushing forward. He just will not stop. As Adjects takes even more map control, drops to the left hand side plateau now, and replaces the dead stuff over here, is taking some reclaim, and fights on with his rhinos. Look how many rhinos there are here. 8 rhinos that could so easily target fire the ACU almost at this point. If he turns back this way, out of range of the Tech 1, he could perhaps just focus the commander, as Adjects is getting bombed. Tech 1 bombers on his ACU, and he's dodging pretty well there. Obviously he can't dodge everything, but there goes there's a flyby. And look at Arch. Arch is still surrounded by 8 rhinos. Oh, a huge number of rhinos coming down from the top now. There's 19 on screen here. Very, very close to the ACU. He's doomed. Down to a few hundred HP. And look at all of his bombers just dropping out of the sky, as Adjects is 800 HP as well. And if he didn't explode and kill so many bombers, maybe Adjects dies there. 529. Two Cyber bombers could kill him. What? What is this? What was that? Okay. That's a strategy, I guess. Well, quite ridiculous. Just ridiculous stuff there. Adjects wins. by the skin of his teeth. Insane. Suiciding the ACU. Because it's very easy to do. I mean, thing is, you have to use the ACU. Because it's the most powerful weapon you have for most of the game. But, oh my fuck. Just zoom in a second there and you can, Jesus Christ. Look at all these tumors on the fucking ground. Oh my god, what is this? Also, you see, things can switch quickly, so you might be quite safe for the longest time, and then in about 30 seconds, suddenly, maybe there was a stall somewhere, or you're transitioning to a different tech, and then, or you've just been trading poorly, then you just end up, oh wow, I don't actually have enough units to keep my ACU safe. And you can die very quickly. Total reclaim is 59,000. And really there's that's one way to do it. Gonna grab maybe, who knows, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Is that like 20 rocks there? Decent bit of mass. Yeah, I mean, look, Arch was super deep there. He was way deep, but also he had no tech. He had no mechs upgrades. He didn't have the map control on the sides. He had to kill Adjects there, basically. Which, I mean, look, I would never play the map that way. So I can't... Is he stuck or something? He is! His lab is stuck on the reclaim. But, yeah, I mean, look, I would never play in the way Arch just played. But in that scenario... Oh, whoa. What is he doing here? What does he think this... He thinks this is the ditch, man. This is some kind of... This is like... Ditch / DeRosa... build. I don't know if you actually can get away with that. Like, Adjects playing much more normally. He still goes for 2 land factories quickly and plenty of power, but like, he doesn't go crazy. He's still building mass extractors, even if they do cost some power. And he has some tanks and, you know, just more regular, and he has way more mass already. Arch is playing in a very unusual way. Has he actually found a kill back here? No, he hasn't. Move, my dude. Oh, that's a big waste. That lab was in a really good position. No, this is not the ditch. The ditch has, what, 400 and something? It nearly has 500,000. I mean, DeRosa is much better. Or much more like this map. Okay, he's finally built some mass extractors. Good on him. Bomber, quite a few labs, but he's not really using them properly. Like here, this was a really good lab, but he didn't find... Like, here's the thing I don't understand. It's very easy. When you click Control Shift, it will tell you where the NGs are. Because guess what? There's no rocks here. Therefore, that's where the NG is. So, I don't know why he didn't find that guy. That's a bit of a mistake, but he does have a bomber now. Inti out for Adjects. Bit of a dodge there. He will take a little bit of damage. Nice micro, gets a quick turn and drops some vaporizes that NG before it has time to react. Inti flies around, but does not... Oh, will he kill the bomber before it drops again? I don't think so, but yeah, there's also no dodge. An attempted dodge right at the last second, that's not enough. And they're decent kills there for the bomber. Scout goes down to the Cyclone, and the Cyclone will also spot a Mantis on the move. Still a few mech marines out. Couple of them here. Overall, they haven't been great, and he needs to stay away from the reclaim because the reclaim will mess with the pathfinding hugely. He already got a lab stuck right there, which is probably going to be reclaimed by this NG very soon. And that might have been even his first lab, certainly one of the first couple of labs. Raids coming in around the sides. Oh, will he find the kill? He finds some damage, and the NG is also getting blocked by the reclaim, so he does get killed. That's a nice one. And the lab's in at the back now. Will he find that last NG in the back of the base? He might, you know. This Mantis just runs past an engineer, leaves it on 6 HP. A Mantis laser does 6 damage exactly, so one more shot from a Mantis would have killed that guy. The other side, we've lost an engineer here, and we may lose another one. Well, we surely will. And now there's 2 annoying Mantis in the back. A bit of an order given there. Not sure what that was. It seems like a lot of scouts heading that direction. Looks like a good raid. All these mexes will die because there are no reinforcements coming from Arch. At least not fast enough. There's 1 striker. 3 in the distance moving out. But the UAF mexes have a lot of HP. Mantis deals 8 damage per shot. Are you sure? I think you might be right. What's up, Pauli? Oh, that was very conceited of me too. Automatically think you're talking to me. No, it's not live. This is these are replays. So Adjects now 1,000 mass in the bank. He's slightly ahead on overall mass as well, but a bit behind on score. In terms of his raids, he seems to be getting Mantis into good positions. Arch sort of struggling to deal with this. He doesn't seem to have the same number of units out in the field. He's what, 20? Or at least not in the same positions. You have double the number of Mantis for Adjects, so doing really well just in terms of just spamming better. And his expansion is much nicer. For example, this ACU securing this position. I mean, I don't really like... Arch is still in the base. It seems like a very, very large mistake to be in the base for so long when there's so much to cover. Like, this expansion could easily be defended by an ACU. So could this one. Just pick a side and move there, and if you can secure this with the ACU, then it becomes easier to secure things behind that forward position, because there's just less space to move through. So if something does try and come around, you have time to react and stuff. So I think the ACU from Arch is really not being used in the best way. And he's so far behind in units. Look at this. Arch also with a lot more power income, or at least a little bit more, and he is actually making use of it. Oh, T2 air, that's where his power income is going. Okay. Tech 2 air doesn't seem like a terrible option at all. Bombers are basically attacking Mantis, which is probably not what you want them to be doing, but better than nothing. Nice raid from the Mantis here, killing this engineer before it could build a factory. Probably didn't get very far on that factory. Real lack of intel for Arch, and you can't be getting raided this close to your own base. That's very, very bad sign for Arch. Adjects really has no worries. He doesn't have this. But in terms of just his main expansions, here with the ACU, this side as well, although he doesn't have a PD here, I mean, he's been able to put so much pressure forward that he doesn't actually need a PD. He also has gone Tech 2 land. He really does seem to be just quite focused on Tech 2 land, and this is, and also just a lot of support factories simultaneously, which really is a big risk that Adjects takes, and it's not a new thing for him. I've seen him do it in many games, and sometimes he just gets punished for it. Making the so many T2 factories simultaneously right after upgrading Tech 2 land can really leave you low on Tech 1 units. But in this case, Adjects, as we saw, just had more Tech 1, so right now he still has like, what, 40? And yeah, he has fallen way behind on land units now. So 97, we're just at like 100 Tech 1 units for Arch, but there seems to be quite a few parked in the base. I don't understand this. What happened here? What's the PD going to do against Tech 2 Air? You mean this one? It's not going to do anything. But, I mean, PD here, I think you should just always have a PD in an expansion like this. It's not a bad rule to live by. Let's see how much reclaim is left on the map. About half of what we started with, if I remember correctly. We had like almost 60k. So still a lot in this position down here. Basically on the outsides of the map, like over here. This expansion never been taken. Adjects actually here. Whoa. That's a bit of a coup there to get that. Also, Adjects now has Tech 2. No, oh no, he doesn't have Tech 2. He has gun. He has a Tech 2 engineer, another support factory there. He's going to make Tech 2 PDs and a static flak as well. Tech 2 air should be done a while ago, and it's gunships for Archsimcat. So let's see, how many gunships can he get? Oh, he has 7 already, so that becomes a scary number now. His air scouts really should be split up in different directions. He's sending them all to the same place, so he's not really going to find too much. Let's see what kind of Tech 2 army Adjects has. He has 15 rhinos. He doesn't have a single flak, and he has no idea that Tech 2 air is around. And around his ACU, he does have a few rhinos. He has Tech 2 PD. He doesn't have a radar. This is the nearest radar way back here. Forward radar is actually turned off, and but he does have the gun, so he's quite safe from land units. The problem is he doesn't know that it's not land units he really has to be afraid of. And he is prioritizing the PDs over... Oh, that's not even a flak, actually. It's a TMD he has queued up. And he has a lot of Tech 2 units. And the fact that none of them are flak might just get him killed right here. The gunships arrive. Oh my god, yeah, he's gonna die very, very fast. Bombers as well come in. How many gunships do we have? 15. Maybe 12 over the ACU. And he's just shredded. Absolutely shredded. That was a nice Tech 2 air switch from Arch. Just switching into the gunships and going for the snipe. And if it was scouted, you know, he could have found damage elsewhere. He could have, but there's a very high chance there that he just is able to, you know, build up good numbers and go for it. Now, if you do this, you really want to do what Arch did and just commit. Like, plenty of assistance. He could have even put more on it, to be honest. Look at all these NGs over here. Oh, he did. Look, he did. So he had another factory producing them with way more build power, actually. So nice move going for the gunship snipe. When you have this much mass on the map, you can afford 12, 15 gunships very quickly. because you just have the mass available. And it takes time for Adjects to react and, you know, do the damage in return. He was doing it. There were rhinos going to arrive, but it didn't matter. If Adjects had 3 flax around his ACU, he may survive, but no flax whatsoever. Big mistake from Adjects, and a nice move from Arch to take advantage. 1-1. Okay, it looks like we have another 10x10 land map. Yet another. And this time Arch is the Sovereign player. And Adjects has UEF. It'll be interesting to see the builds. Looks like Arch does not want to walk to the hydrocarbon. He does not. I mean, the hydro is pretty close, but the problem is it takes you away from where you ultimately want to go. So you have to kind of go over there, build it, and double back out in this direction, or even north, but usually you go out to the side, out to the open area. And in the opening, the most important things to note are, well, the hydrocarbon. This position here where you have some trees and you have a bit of ice, and also this here. Really important to grab this mass to give you a boost in the opening. You only have 3 mexes to start with. And then after that, well, this is probably the next most important area. With, again, nice chunks of ice to reclaim. Adjects also not going to the hydro. Instead, he is going to expand downwards with his ACU very quickly, and leftwards with engineers. He's got 4 engies out now, and he's going to make 5 before he builds a tank. These 3 engies are going to be the base builders, the main base builders. And he also is not grabbed this just yet, so that's what the 5th engineer is for. This engie also going to grab reclaim and expand, and that's an interesting build, definitely not one I've seen before. He's also going second air. Arch is going to build, yeah, second land. He also now is grabbing the reclaim at the bottom, but he has mistimed his hydrocarbon slightly, or just simply not grabbed. If he had grabbed a few of these trees, I don't think he stalls there, but he has grabbed some. He's got like 900 energy reclaim, but third air for Arch. Air, quite important on this map. You have, you know, mexes that can only be taken via drops. And you even have a hydro and some reclaim that can only be taken via transport. So let's see. Is there a bomber? No. A quick transport is the plan for Adjects. Will he be allowed to get away with that? He has 3 land factories. He needs a... Yeah, he switches it on. Alright, see you, Ryan. Have a good one. We'll try and do some slightly earlier streams in the future. And overall, Adjects 600 mass ahead. Ah, yes, of course. You could teleport up there to build a hydro. My bad. Arch not really grabbing the reclaim that he needs to grab here. He's grabbing some other stuff though. There's kind of a lot of little bits of reclaim to grab. This forest is quite nice as well, next to the expansion. But let's see. The transport is under construction now, about to finish. And is Arch active enough on the map with his air to find this? Doesn't look like it. I actually don't see any scouts for Arch. And I also don't see any kills on the inties for... Oh, here's the scouts. Now they start to move. They've been hiding in the base. Adjects has been flying around with his air scout on patrol. Does find an intie and get shot down. Adjects with now quite a bit of mass in the bank. Definitely could afford a factory, or he could afford an air factory actually at this point, which wouldn't be the worst thing to build. He's not really using his inties to defend his transport at the moment, which is quite risky. Okay, a couple of mantis can be found by the ACU here. And the transport may even be scouted here. Let's see. Not quite. However, excuse me, an engineer is spotted up here, which should tell Arch that there is a transport around. His transport is now out and a little bit idle. Time to grab maybe these engineers here and start dropping. Adjects, although he went for a rather quick transport, he's not dropping on his opponent's positions, which is... It's, you know, sometimes being greedy is good. He's gonna go up here and grab the reclaim. What you can do is like do an attack move back and forth and then queue up the hydrocarbon. That way you'll grab all the reclaim. He's just gonna grab the reclaim for now and try and do some raiding. So Arch does take a little bit of damage here, but ultimately none of the mexes go down and they will regen and some reclaim will be left. Arch has enough units in the area to force Adjects to retreat. Doesn't want to lose the rest of these tanks on his opponent's side of the map. Adjects also defending against raids in a similar fashion. Adjects just quite far ahead on mass right now. Quite far. This expansion is much faster. Wow, that's a lot of anti-air to be constructing on the plateau. That's a huge investment there. I'm not sure if that's the best use of his mass advantage. But overall, Arch not looking in a great spot now. Reclaim in the middle is gone. Actually, Arch has left this behind. Does he have... Ah, he also doesn't have this. So it seems like Arch is just not focused on the right positions. If we look at the reclaim, 3,600 to 2,200. You can see these kind of positions where there's chunks of ice are really important. And you can't just let this sit on the ground here. Now he's on the move to grab this. But maybe later than he should have been. Air looking quite even. Maybe slightly in favor of Adjects. 9 inties. Give some coverage for the transport, which has dropped 5 mantis into Adjects expansion. Adjects has 11 inties, and both players struggling for mass at this point as they achieve about half of the map control that they... Half of the map that they're due. Oh, Tech 2 air quite quickly from Adjects, with quite a bit of assistance. So no wonder he was stalling there. Tech 2 air quite nice in this map, being pretty aggressive with his tanks as well, running into a factory, and you can see he just put about 400 to 500 damage into the factory. It's not going to help you when it just regens, and the mantis are shooting back, and the Medusa as well. So the top side now is Arches, and he's just taking map control extremely well. I mean, this is dead, this is dead, and the other question now is whether how quickly he can get engineers over there. He does have a transport, so first he's going to drop plateaus, and then afterwards he can Perhaps use engineers to transport a drop over here. Overall doing quite well. That's a dead transport for Adjects. Where was that guy dropping? Oh wow. Adjects is here. Oh, is this where he dropped? If he had reclaimed some stuff with this NG, it would have been really nice, but he's actually going to lose the NG now without reclaiming. The factory may live on low HP, but his ACU is going to arrive, and if he can secure this reclaim field, it's going to be very, very important in the grand scheme of things. You can see a factory over here producing engineers on attack move over directly to the ACU and the reclaim field. He needs to walk in here, get rid of this factory, rebuild the mexes, because right now he's allowing the factories to regen and also engineers to come out. That guy should be reclaiming, but he's actually repairing the factory because Arch can't spend his mass. Whoa, Mantis in the back here, being annoying, but not doing much else. T2 Air, I haven't seen the Tech 2 Air units. Arch has 4 5 inties. Adjects has 2, so I've clearly missed an air fight somewhere, which Arch has essentially won. Not sure where that happened. Oh, Arch has come back to this position, and Adjects only now moving in has maybe waited just a bit too long, because wow, Adjects has just no units left. Where have all the units gone? He's got 20 units, none of them, well, let's say one of them next to his ACU. And Adjects is playing the wrong kind of game in these matches. He's consistently, I don't know, he's consistently investing in higher tech pretty quickly. And also, he makes a T2 mechs. His power income is gigantic. I mean, he made 26 Tech 1 P-Gens. That's already enough, basically. Plus a Tech 2 P-Gen, 1200 mass. And he has no units. And at the same time, he also lost air and isn't able to even use the Tech 2 Air tech that he's invested in. He was so far ahead in this map, and this is the kind of map where just with the layout, the Tech 1 is just very good. The map is very spread out. You can't, it's difficult to even get the time to build PD and all the expansions, let alone afford that cost. But and then the ASU's all alone. And Arch wins 2-1. Shouldn't you be hiding in your base if you're teching? No, not really. No, again, you just can't afford to be hiding in your base. I mean, look, you can't walk up to the enemy ACU, but you also can't hide in your base. You have to be doing something, even if you're teching. But realistically, there's way too many long-term investments. Just not paying attention to his opponent there. So well played to Arch. And maybe this is a map that just Adjects does not have experience on as well, must be said. But Arch is a spammer, so he may also not have experience against Arch himself. Arch is a spammer, that's for sure. So those kind of players, you have to stay on Tech 1. You have to resist the urge to put that extra mass into mexes and Tech 2. And Adjects loses. Big upset there. Alright, let's go to the playoffs. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Wackel. Alright. So, playoff stage. Okay, game one. We're going to watch Torin versus Paralon. Don't forget to like the stream if you're enjoying the coverage. So, the ditch appears in yet another tournament. Quite a map. Paralon defeated Petrick, I believe, in a tournament. Was that this year? Was that last year? Torin. I've some games on this map against Torin. Not sure how many times I've played Paralon here. I think at least once. Now let's see what they go for. Paralon with Cybran, Torin with UEF. People really... Hey, what's up, JB? Thank you. WCM is the best FAF plan. Okay. Shout out to WCM. So, normal stuff. You know, first engineer, you build the factory towards the reclaim. First engineer goes to the reclaim. Next engineers, I don't know how many, 6, 7, 8 engineers just build stuff with the ACU, mainly power, and then some factories. Players have a slightly different arrangement of P-gens. They're basically... Oh, okay. They're basically trying to avoid the engineers moving as much as possible. It's very important that you have the most efficient opening on a map that has 435,000 reclaim in mass. So any movement from the NGs is inefficiency. So ideally, really, the engineers would stop like right here actually, and only have to walk this far from the factory and then just build everything around here. But they kind of walk over to the ACU because, again, you don't want the ACU walking either. One engineer is sufficient to basically fund all of this base development for quite a while. Now he will send more. Yeah, now's about the time where he sends a second one, because he's also going to want to get a factory up here, build the mexes up here, so you do have to send more eventually, but 3 minutes before he sends one. Paralon dropping quickly. He has 12 P-gens, 13 P-gens even, and Torin quite far ahead on power right now. Downside for him is that he does not have a transport. And Paralon, yeah, he's going to be dropping on the far side of the map. He's not dropping his own side first. Now, I'm wondering how quickly he'll make the second transport. I mean, the first one is already expensive because, as you can see, it's put him quite far behind on power. It also means that his base development is going to be slowed down in general after they leave as well, because that's 6 engineers that aren't building the whole time that they're flying across the map. And I'm expecting a transport out of this factory. Let's see. Will it be? No, a scout. I am expecting a second transport, but perhaps he's gonna delay it and just focus on base building, which would make sense. He's struggling for power right now, and these engineers are gonna drain quite a bit. You can see minus 35 each as they build land factories. And there's gonna be he's dropping one here, and then he's gonna drop one. One of these is not happening. I'm gonna expect that this one is not happening, and he's gonna drop up here. Oh no, he dropped both of them in this position. Bit strange, but okay. What's up, Peter? How's it going? A lot of scouts for... Whoa, a huge number of scouts, actually. And, oh, definitely time for another transport, I gotta say. He also just shot down the bomber from Torin, and Torin dropping. Torin's transport scouts this position. Scouts 2 NGs here, and he knows there's something here because he could see the radar coming towards him. He rushes a radar first himself. And now what he needs to rush is a PD. And even some bombers wouldn't go astray. If somebody is dropping on your side of the map, the prime way to attack that position, dropping your own units to build your own base is not going to be sufficient. You also need to slow down their development, and that means killing their engineers. And the way to do that is with bombers. So we do have some bombers from Torin, but is he going to get past the Inties? I'm not sure. There's already 3 factories from Paralon. He needs to switch back on these NGs. Actually, he's struggling for mass now, so he's going to get them to reclaim. I would probably find someone else to do that job and build factories there instead. PD does go for Torin, but there's already Medusa moving in that direction. The 2 NGs in this position have been bombed, but not before they finish 2 factories, which is quite huge. So Torin doing his best. He is a factory disadvantage. It's 5 versus 4, and now it's 6 versus 4. The Medusa not on attack move, so they're just walking into the PD. These engineers could be dead already, but they are not. Torin's transport just flies past an Inti there. Inti, what is this Inti doing? I have no idea, but he does manage to get the drop away. 4 engineers land and get a radar, and then he's going to... Oh no, he's not split them at all. And there's a bomber in the area. Paralon has the bombers waiting, and that means the radar even goes down, as well as all the NGs, and the factory not even halfway completed. That hurts. That's quite painful, and that's why you always split. Oh, maybe he's thinking, oh, I don't have time to do this, but I mean, you gotta find the time. Tech 2 Air only now started. It's pretty slow, but it's been an aggressive game, and there's a lot of things happening, so the teching can be delayed. Paralon behind on mass, but the key point is that, well, look, he's faster to Tech 2 Air, but in terms of mass, you can be behind on mass. But what Paralon wants is this. This is the key to Paralon's gameplay on this map, is the long-term advantage of a base on your opponent's side of the map. So if you're Torin and you can get a base anywhere here or here, this is not so great. But if you can get a base here, obviously here it's unlikely, but these positions here, you can get any kind of base going here and keep it there long term, that is a huge advantage on this map. And that's what Paralon's strategy on this map is always based on. It's always the quick transport, get across the map, and just hold on there. Get a base going and hold on. And eventually, because you have so much mass in this map, you can pump a huge amount of production into that thing and deny huge amounts of reclaim for your opponent. Look at the reclaim in this area. Like on screen now, there is over 30,000 in mass. It's difficult to take this if you don't have the space to just make some engineers, spam a lot of engineers. You have to constantly be making factories, building building more factories, building units to defend yourself, upgrading the factories so that you have higher tech, so you can actually really defend yourself, because Paralon's going to be making tech 2. He may make it somewhere else and just make support factories in the expansion. We'll see. He refuses to build this mechs for some reason. Also, yeah, nobody with any navy, which is quite interesting. And after this, Paralon fills in the gaps in the back. So he's got like transports moving around, looking just to fill in the gaps, as I said. So he's dropped here. He's taken this expansion. He is quite far behind on mass, though. This attack is quite ridiculous, honestly. I mean, Turin has units. They're just not in position, and he doesn't have radar, so he can't actually see what's going on. And he loses out on a factory there. He loses all these engineers, which is really painful, and he has no mass income. So this position was raided by labs, would you believe? And this position needs to provide him with the reclaim. This is where he needs the reclaim. There's a lot of reclaim here. And this bombing run in this position has also slowed him down hugely. Once again, 23k mass on screen here. And it just seems a bit slow. This expansion seems doomed at this point. If you stall that hard on mass, these factories are not going to produce the units that you need to survive. Paralon, meanwhile, continuing to add factories. You cannot stop adding factories, realistically. And realistically, there's no reason to, because you should always have the mass to do that. I'm wondering, is he making Tech 3 mechs or something? Well, no, he's just making a Tech 3 B-Gen. That is certainly expensive. But I don't think he can hold on here very much longer at all. Feels like Paralon is going to take over the top side. But again, on the flip side, Paralon just very slow in certain parts of the map. For example, here. Bit of a drop. So much to do here. A lot of Tech 1 bombers coming out from Turin. I'm not sure if that's really going to help him that much. Tech 2 land is here. And there's a flak about to come out just as the bombers are arriving. Feel like it's too late for the bombers, to be honest. There's a lot of Tech 1 anti-air. A flak just came out. There's static anti-air. There's mobile anti-air. And they're just on attack move bombing very random things. Or if they're hitting anything at all. And very often they're not hitting shit. So it doesn't feel like a very good investment. Like if you imagine there's a bomber attacking here. If there's bombers raiding these engineers that are reclaiming. If there's bombers in this position, far more devastating. He's just attacked. I think there's so much room for bomber damage, and he's picked the wrong position. Two Tech 3 pigeons built right next to each other in a very dangerous formation, but that means plenty of Tech 3 airs available to Turin, especially when he's not. Well, actually, he is making Tech 3 mexes now. I'm wondering, yeah, he cannot afford that. You really need to have your reclaim on point. And in a game that's so messy, it's going to be difficult to get the reclaiming going. He is reclaiming in various positions, but it's a fickle thing, because look, even as they walk, suddenly you're stalling 160 mass. Or in between reclaiming. And at all times, some of those engineers that are reclaiming are going to be walking, or just run out of reclaim nearby. So it's quite a big investment to be making, going T3 air like that, and then going for 2 Tech 3 mexes. Maybe he could have delayed the Tech 3 mexes and focused on regaining this position. He's in danger of losing this gunship. There's just too much anti-air here. And you don't really want to use broadswords against Tech 1 anti-air. That's such a huge waste. Wow, he actually killed like 4 units with the crash damage. Tech 3 land on the way. That was a big waste for broadsword there. a big waste. And now there's 4 of them. Now with 4 broadswords, I think you come in and you kill that HQ. What are these bombers doing? They're finding a lot of kills. Paralon's bombers are in nice positions. Very interesting stealing of reclaim here. So it's just not being spotted by Torin. The broadswords could find, I mean, they could come towards the main base. Paralon still has not built this mech in his core, which is insane to me. But Paralon does have Tech 3 Air now. But look, Torin, use your gunships, dude. You have to use them. Like, this is a real-time game. You can't waste time here. He could bring the broadswords to kill this. He could come around this side. Whilst the anti-air's in front, he could come from the other side, snipe the Tech 3 HQ. I think that would be huge, because I mean he doesn't have Tech 3 land. He doesn't even have Tech 2 land. There's no way he can defend against Tech 3 land in the near future, because he's not moving to Tech 3 land. He's gonna spam a lot of Tech 2. Now that seems like that could work if he can find a way to kill this HQ. He has 2 strats. He has 5 broadswords. That's a huge amount of air, but please make use of these units that you've invested. Most of Torin's army is in these aggressive air units. He's now got 3 strat bombers, and they're being scouted. And realistically, there's not many units here for Paralon. He too has been struggling because he just, he's been focused on trying to get Tech 3 Air. He's been ecoing in a lot of positions. But if he kills the HQ, which he is going to try and do, this is not enough to kill it though. 3 strats do not one-shot it. He needs another pass. Oh my god, the air fight. What is going on in this air fight? Where are the ASFs from Torin? Where are ASFs from Paralon going? Paralon loses air. And he loses his HQ. And he has 3 loyalists to show for his Tech 3 Air HQ. Strat continues to fly over. Really needs to get out of there. He's gonna waste a strat bomber. Oh, he's gonna waste another strat bomber. Did he save any of them? No, he actually lost all of the strats there, which seems very unnecessary, but he does still have 5 broadswords. And he should be able to run over this position. Yeah, you cannot allow another factory to be upgraded here. Problem is he still only has Tech 1 units. He does not have anything that can deal with loyalists or rhinos even. Huge amount of Tech 1 bombers come in and bomb. Oh, they kill a lot of build power at least, which is quite nice. His ASF are taking huge amounts of damage though. And now the broadswords come in. And he's gonna try and kill. He really is desperate to kill this land HQ. So desperate. He sent so many bombers over Flex and Tech 1 anti-air, and it will go down as it's upgrading to Tech 3. This is one of the reasons why I prefer to make the HQ in my base quickly at home, and then make support factories in a proxy if I have it. Paralon's making Tech 2. He has 4 Tech 3 pigeons in his base. He's going to have quite significant air production. He's adding more factories. Should add one here next, but no. Okay. Maybe he's leaving that spot for something else, but really This spot has the best adjacency available. Also 4 P-gens for Torin, but he does not have the adjacency. He does not have the air grid. He's making another P-gen as well. And he's making another Tech 3 factory. He still has not excised the tumor. That is this base, but he's getting closer. Very gradually and perhaps inefficiently. The broadswords move on. Question is, can he protect them? He doesn't have a spy plane. You really should always have a spy plane with your ASFs, because you have to be able to see what's coming. And Paralon is pouncing. Now at least he does have interceptors with him, which will help quite a bit in a T3 airfight, actually, in small numbers. But what is going on with the micro? Torin's micro does not look good at all. And Paralon is going to clean this up. I hear a strat flying overhead again. Just bombing a mechs in the base. If he could bomb the loyalists, that would be the best target possible. That's 5 broadswords that are never making it home now that he's lost air. Paralon will take those out. And that's a huge loss. And if you don't build a grid, expect to lose air. That's just how it works. The loyalist's still alive. The Tech 1 anti-air is going to take out this strap bomber now. Another wasted unit. Still no Tech 2. I mean, I don't understand how he has Tech 2. Loads of Tech 2 land over here. He refuses to make a Tech 2 land factory in this position. He also is losing so many engines in his base to Tech 1 bombers and Tech 2 gunships. And still, he has 2 air factories. Neither of them has even a single P-gen adjacent of any tech level. Not Tech 1, Tech 2, or Tech 3 P-gens. What's up, Mosey? Seems like the benefit of fighting for that proxy for Paralon isn't worth the investment. Who do you... not worth it for who, do you mean? Not worth it for Torin or not worth it for Paralon? Paralon is making... Well, look how far ahead on mass he is now. He now has 7 Tech 3 mexes. He's about 35,000 mass ahead. He actually lost the Tech 3 mechs there to a broadsword, perhaps? And yeah, these Loyas that were built so long ago are still alive. And the PDs, oh god, they've gotten a lot of kills. And so have the Rhinos. They're vetted. Look at the vet on the flanks. Not worth it for Paralon. Oh no, it's definitely worth it for Paralon. This has been amazing for Paralon. I mean, just imagine where all of those strats and gunships would have gone if Paralon did not have a proxy. Is Torin actually winning air back here? It's close. It's close. And it looks like actually Torin had better micro there. He does win it back. But yeah, that's what I'll say, Alistair. Just think of where all of those air units would have gone if that proxy wasn't there. And think of how much the reclaim would have been taken much more quickly by Torin. It was definitely worth it for Paralon. Paralon moving out though with a lot of strats just as he lost air. I would definitely have stealth on those. And I definitely would probably go hide them somewhere. So, well, there hasn't been much investment in it lately, to be honest. Except in terms of maybe fighting air, which he actually won one of the fights. How much mass? 25k here. Subs low. You haven't seen him ever enabling stealth. Ah, look. Just as you said it. He has stealth on. Well, there you go. Now you saw it. Oh, he turned it off again. 'Cause he has no power whatsoever. He built a really big grid, but he didn't build enough pigeons for it. There's Corsairs and Strats moving about. Look at this Loya. Still alive. My god, the flak. 2,000 mass kill. 2,477. 1,700 mass killed. 1,400. My god. Look at the bombers. Is there any end here? 35 T1 bombers just bombing everything. Imagine if Torin would make a Tech 2 factory. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. Oh, the strats with the stealth are coming in. And are they just going for the ACU? Oh my god, they must be. Goodbye, Torin Bar. Kappa. 6 strats directly to the back of the head. And Torin is knocked out of game 1. Torin's still on Tech... No, he has Tech 2 over here. He's still on Tech 2 land. I don't... Like, this was really... I don't know. I would never do this. Would never be spamming Tech 2 land all the way around this corner. If I'm building Tech 2 land, make Riptides or something. Could definitely do something with Riptides, but... Pillars? Really? The whole way around the map? By the time he gets around here, it's full Tech 3 mechs on this side. Nice snipe from Parlon to end this game before anything weird can happen. And yeah, the power of stealth, eh? It's pretty strong. That's why it's so nice to be able to get the middle and get an Omni and stuff up. Nobody took the middle reclaim. Oh wait, there's a bit of it gone here, but very little of the mid reclaim taken. Overall, still 185,000 mass left on the map. Quite a messy game. And well, Parlon got what he wanted here. Fast transport proxy kept it alive basically until a couple of minutes ago, and well played to Parlon. 1-0 to him. And this is a best of 5 now, because this is the round of 8. So let's open game number 2. All right. So, I am quite sure that that Parlon picked the ditch. Quite sure, even though I don't. I haven't checked. I'm about 99.9% sure that Parlon picked the ditch, and the Torrent will have picked this map in return. This is Firelight 5x5 map with a bit of terrain in the middle. So you start with this wreck, Tech 2 transport. What's up, Thomas? A bit of reclaim on the map to fight for. So we got a Tech 2 wreck over there. That's is that a Rhino or is it a Wagner? Perhaps we got a bit of a Dead Ghetto, I think. Dead Ghetto gunship. A radar. We have a pillar. So a little bit of reclaim around. Now in the middle, you have this formation here. So you've got ramps basically here, 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 and here, and quite a few mexes in this position. You have 2 mexes in the corner, and then this one you have a ramp at this side and you have a ramp at this side, with 4 mexes along here in a lane, and a lot of open space on the top side without too many mexes to fight for, but with a hydro a little bit outside the base. Turin has Aeon, Paralon has Seraphim. Turin going second air, Paralon going second land. Now if you make this hydro and you don't make air, it's basically 100% guaranteed that you will waste energy. Selene micring against a flare and doing quite well for itself. Paralon moves towards the middle with an engineer to get the reclaim, and defends him with a Selene and a Tham. Yeah, moves the Tham and Selene forward, and continues fighting against other labs with the Selene. And the Selene in this corner can find a kill. This engineer is low HP already. He's already been fighting him. Ran away to avoid being reclaimed and then came back to finish what he started. That's a very nice kill for a Selene. And actually, oh, I thought the Selene may have killed this engineer, but no, here it is. It managed to sneak past and is taking some reclaim in the center of the map. But now it may get one more wreck before the Tham finishes it off and deposits a replacement. Paralon has gotten all of his center reclaim, and this is the largest patch of reclaim on the map, so he has taken all of that. Turin making a ghetto gunship, in fact. That was his plan. It's 3 minutes 30 and it moves across the map now. He's got Paralon has air now. I said if he makes the hydro and doesn't make air, he's definitely going to overflow. He's actually overflowing anyway because he's stalling mass. The labs are here. They're not targeting the anti-air though, and the transport is losing HP. And there's now an Inti out as well, and there's just 5 tanks sitting in the base because Paralon's rally points are just not set up. So he can't really drop in the middle of the base here. He will have to drop anyway because the Inti is here. The anti-air is going to be in range now as well. Flies past, taking pot shots at the Thams. Will he land? No. He loses all of the labs. And the gunship. That's absolutely devastating. I mean, I don't really believe that you can you can come back from that. That's such a huge investment just lost and deposited in your opponent's base for him to immediately reclaim. Selene's still being annoying all this time. Kills another unit. This time it's just a scout. But tickles away at the Engies as well before finally going down. And if we look at the number of units, oh god, Turin, stop building factories, my dude. You have minus 31 mass. You're not going to have any units coming out of your factories with that kind of mass stall. And I think this game is going to end very, very soon because Turin he has nothing to work with now. Paralon, I mean, also stalling mass, but not nearly as devastating a stall. Still, he really does not. He really likes to just rally into his base. It's quite strange. 15 tanks for him. 6 for Turin. Turin can't even get the map control of this position. He's lost his Hydro. He's lost the mechs. His ACU is alone, building a PD that he can't afford. Just doesn't know what to do. What's going on in there, Torrent? He shot something briefly for some reason. What's the score for the series between these two? It's 1-0 to Paralon. This is the finals. This is the playoffs stage. It is the quarterfinal. It's the only AC that has their crest on it. UEF definitely has their symbol on their ACU somewhere. I don't think Seraphim does. And Paralon is not escaping, or sorry, Paralon doesn't need to escape. Turin is not escaping here. Ah, there's Paralon's ACU, ran straight up the middle. Zooies, Thams, Bombers. Torrent is demolished. His... Did you have a BO? Ah. That's a funny question to ask. Has to be said. And that's 2-0 to Paralon. Let's check out game number 3 of the best of 5. You guys talking about Architect? I guess was the guy you're talking about before, the caster. Wow. Oh, I've actually played this map. Yeah, I played this in a 2v2 actually against sorry, let me show you the map. Nexus was in the game. I'm not sure who else was in the game though. Maybe Turbo and Yudi. Yeah, I remember at some point Architect was supposed to be casting lots at some point, or some part of lots, maybe a group stage, maybe a qualifier, I don't know. And then Brink just showed up and casted the tourney and took all the viewers. And I think he kind of lost interest sometime shortly after that, if I remember correctly. I could be remembering wrong about when he stopped, but definitely remember that happening. I've never seen this map in 1v1. What's up, Blackheart? No, this is definitely Age. Definitely Age. So he's gone for 3 villagers at the start. So, second land for Paralon. He's just going to spam engineers. There's so many mexes on this map. Let's see, there's also some chunks of reclaim. Let's see what it says total. Nearly 34,000. 4 bases with hydros and many mexes. 3 groups out the wazoo. Quite an ugly map for 1v1. I will say. I mean, for 2v2, you know, whatever. Bit of fun every now and then, but this is not, I don't know. Not really that suitable 1v1 map, I would say. But okay, they're playing it. Torrent's gone second air and is making a bomber. I'm wondering how many kills he would have to get with this bomber to equal up the count of engineers. Probably a lot. At the moment, already, Turin has 2 factories, right? 2 factories. And Paralon has 3. He's now finished his 4th. Oh, though he is stalling mass, so that makes it less devastating. I mean, it's hard to come up with a build on the fly here, but building this Hydra before the Mexas has not worked out for him. Should have believed in the trees. Let's see, 14 engineers. And it looks like Paralon just has a better build here. Turin looks over and he sees 4 land factories, 5th one on the way, and is probably thinking, damn, I'm pretty far behind right now. Pretty far behind. Here comes the bomber. 2 kills, quick turn, 3rd kill. Another quick kill on this engineer. 4 kills is nice. Wow, what happened to the Blackheart's rights? Are they being infringed? 5 kills. This bomber has been very nice. Oh, ground fire. Nice. Oh my god, that was a beautiful bomb at the end. 4 more kills. But now the stall. This Hydra is still not completed. Actually, none of the other Hydras being built. Could be a big mistake. ACU moving very rapidly across the map and not really doing anything. I actually don't understand why he's moving across the map so quickly with the ACU. Banned for insulting Ninrai. Oh. Has Ninrai ever been banned? I would be shocked in a way if he hadn't. These guys still smoking. They were killed so long ago. Stop smoking, guys. Less than me, which is the yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. You just have to do it in a certain way and then you're basically good. You have to be toxic in a certain way. 16 tanks. I'm pretty sure Paralon's going to have a few more than that. What? Whoa, 13 labs. Why is he making hunters? I'm wondering, is that a misclick? I feel like the hunters are misclick. Overall though, it's actually Turin now who has maybe with the help, well, certainly with the help of the bombers, actually overtaken Paralon in terms of eco, in terms of total mass generated. I wish he would be quicker with the hydrocarbons. That would help him a lot. Paralon's struggling just to expand fully and also struggling for power. And this is going to be a spam fest. This is going to be a mess. There's so much. Every bit of map control gives you access to reclaim, and it gives you access to mexes. Every step you go over, there's another mex to grab. And there's also reclaim. There's entire portions on the side of the map. There's plateaus up here that have to be dropped. This thing is just a mess of a 1v1 map, and a mess of a 1v1 map seems to, in my mind, favor Paralon over Turin. Perhaps Turin at his peak ladder spamming phase would be able to deal with all this, but at the moment, well, his build certainly is strong. He's had a strong start, but will he be able to keep up when this map is just going to ramp up and up and up? The transport is damaged. Not sure how it got damaged, but he has actually, Paralon already grabbed this plateau now. Yeah, this is a bad sign. Some mechs is missing in the core base of Turin. Doesn't bode well when there's still, 50 plus mexes to be taken, including ones that need to be dropped by Transports, actually this is the result of a transport, but Torn finds it with a very large army and takes out the engineer and will take out the factory as well, presumably. But there's also this nice engineer over here. So he's gonna, Parlon gonna be quite annoying. Gonna take some reclaim, gonna get a factory up, make some engineers, and also maybe just spam some Mantis in this direction. It's gonna be strange to see Mantis coming from the side of the map as opposed to across from the base. Torn very far forward with his commander. I don't understand that too much now. Very risky to be moving across the map like this when your opponent is going to have 20 factories plus producing Mantis. He's got 17 at the moment, it seems. Maybe a couple more I missed. But that I do not like. Where Torrance is going further in. Torrent, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to walk right into the jaws of your opponent's base with your commander on a 10x10 map with this much mass? T2 land for Torrent finished. I expect quite a few support factories to go up. I don't expect a T3 rush right now. Actually, Tech 2 Air as well. Tech 2 PGen. Still refusing to build hydrocarbons, but okay. And Torrent even getting into the base with a few units. Look at the vet on these guys. They will eventually be taken out, although the terrain is delaying their death. And Torrent, although he has pushed Parlon away, he's not grabbing all of the mexes that quickly. Not really using transports still. I mean, actually Parlon now drops up onto this plateau. And yeah, Parlon making use of the drops. That transport has 7 health. What? How does that even happen? And now Parlon just is greeted by a whole army from Torrent, which walked right up to the edge of the base, stood there for a while, and then decided, yeah, let's just go in. We can probably just go into the main base, right? Well, no. So, a lot of mass deposited on in Parlon's base for him to reclaim, and plenty of units lost for Torrent. But overall, he has a really nice position at this point if he can just get the engineers out there and start taking the map, because Parlon, although he's losing in the middle, which is really where the main fight takes place, he is actually grabbing stuff on the outskirts that he really has no business taking. I mean, he was here, but that was taken out. He's up here in this corner hiding out. Again, there's reclaim to be taken, not only mexes. And he's even on this plateau, which he has no business taking. None at all, especially when there's T2 Air. The T2 Air has not found anything to do. He's not making gunships. He's not making Nothas, although they could be very, very painful. Imagine some Nothas coming into the main base sniping the Tech 2 HQ, which, by the way, is 40% of the way to Tech 3. Torrent not moving to Tech 3. He's upgrading at least 4 Tech 2 factories at the moment. And the HQ is, well, has very little assistance and is just pumping out Ilshis. So Torrent going to be faced with Tech 3 land very soon. And he's still, although he's still lacking so many of the mexes on the map that ought to be his. And his ACU is still quite far forward. Tech 2 on the ACU is being upgraded. If we check out his eco now, oh my god. A huge mass stall. An absolutely huge mass stall from Torrent. Is he upgrading a lot of mexes at once? Seems to be. He has 7 Tech 2 mexes at the moment. Parlon with just 3. But mass in the bank that he can put into Tech 3 units very quickly. Maybe he should grab all the rest of these engineers as well, get them on the T3 factory, get basically any engineers that are spare here in this base should be on the factory, get some loyas and bricks out as fast as he can, and then he can start doing some real damage in different parts of the map. And Torrent's struggling. This mass stall is absolutely devastating to him. He's made Tech 2 and now he makes the gun, and now he's going to make Nano? Or is that... Wait, was that Nano or was that TML? I'm not sure, actually. That could have been TML. We will see in a minute or two. T2, some gunships moving around for both players, actually. But he's finally found this position, but those NGs are not under attack, and they're going to build anti-air very quickly. A couple anti-airs are going to take out both of these gunships, most likely, because they're attacking a factory. Sub-explosive. And although Torrent, once again, I just have to keep pointing out, he just has all of his units at the front, which really should mean he has the map control, but realistically, on this side of the map he has a few mexes, on this side of the map he has actually gotten most of it, still hasn't got this, and he did lose both those gunships to anti-air, and he has no interest in using transports. He just has no interest. It was TML on his back, and he begins shooting, but guess what, there's TMD up already, and there may even be a Loya around. No, there isn't, but there's two TMD. There's a shield, which I think will protect that TMD. We'll see anyway. Well, I think it does. Loya goes down at the front to just the sheer weight of Tech 1, and also some Ilshis mixed in there. Actually, a decent few Ilshis. But Torrent is falling back a little bit. Now, I'm sure he's going to be reacting to the Tech 3 with some of his own. If I know Torrent, that's just how the game works. But he doesn't have mass. He really is way overspending, and it's crippling his eco. He could at least, like, he has 50 Tech 1 pigeons, at least reclaim some Tech 1 pigeons. Something, maybe use Tech 2 air to try and take back positions that really ought to be his. Wonderful raid here from this gunship as it shoots directly into the wall of this cliff instead of flying over it and shooting down. Gunships go down for Paralon and Intis as well. And the brick is able to just hold this choke point all day against Tech 1 and even some Tech 2. So that's 1,000 mass kill on that brick. Really has no issues. He can even send the bricks in the other direction now. Although he has two there as well. Bricks are going to have a field day against this army. It's just no contest. And so Torrent backs away. At this point, Paralon slightly edging ahead on mass. In total, score is in favor of Torrent, however. We have two Tech 3 factories producing bricks now. And the brick numbers must be at least 5 or 6 at this point. Well, it's actually 7 now. One just came out of that second factory. And Torrent still is not a Tech 3. And he's just not putting the engineers onto the factory. So it's going very, very slowly. He just does not have enough assist. So it's going to take a while. He does have a nice force of gunships, but so often you see a nice force of gunships get wasted at some point. He is actually moving to the top where there's literally no anti-air. For some reason, he's made some Mantis and not even some Tech 1 anti-air or anything. Bit strange from Paralon, but yeah, that will all get cleaned up by the gunships. What's up, Fortet? He could go Tech 3 air. Yeah, I mean, he could. I don't know if it would really be a good option, to be honest. I mean, look at Parlon. He actually has a samurai now. And he could very quickly make multiple T3 mobile anti-air. Brick drop from a Tech 2 transport. No stealth, but he's sneaking around the back. Well, that's not that sneaky. If you want to be really sneaky, you should hold fire your gunship or your transport so your opponent doesn't hear it. But either way, he still gets to the back, even with a big pause next to the base. And that's going to be 5 Tech 2 mexes going down. Guaranteed. The gunships are way on the other side of the map, so they won't be around to help out. And Torin is trying to build a shield on the front line. With a Tech 1 army, a few Tech 2 units, and so many bricks coming towards him. Notha's coming after the brick now. It's actually... Oh, just missed out on a couple of mexes here. It's killed 2 so far. That's going to be 3. A 4th one. Needs to keep it moving so it doesn't die to Notha's sooner than necessary. Tech 3 is finally up, and he's making a sniper. He really needs to make an Autumn first. Or that's another mex going down. He may even cause Torin to bomb his own mechs, as you can see the reclaim being diminished there. And the brick finally goes down. 5,400 mass killed. And yeah, he's killing reclaim as well. So many dead mexes. At this point, Parlon has... he's switched back into a few loyalists. He has 7 bricks still, pushing forward. Left side's taking damage for Torin. And yeah, the shield... Where'd it go? It's nowhere. And Parlon just... He can avoid... All he needs to avoid is the ACU. Other than that, there's really nothing on the field that can do damage to him. Except some gunships. But Parlon actually has a decent few inties at this point. And some gunships of his own. Tech 3 Pigeon. For Parlon, a bit disappointed he didn't make it adjacent to the air HQ. But oh, he actually has 2 air HQs. And he's not building adjacent to either of them. Okay. Look at all the mass that's going to be left here. It's a dead brick. Parlon now inching ever further ahead on... oh my god, Torin, please kill that guy. He doesn't have the power. What is his ACU doing? He's like spinning around like crazy. He doesn't have the overflow or the energy storage to really deal with these bricks with overcharge. Which is very scary because it just means these bricks, if they get into range of him, he is very likely to die. Okay, the gunships arrive back again to finish what they started on this plateau. Once again, all of these mexes should be Torrents for the longest time, and they've just been, you know, allowed to be taken by Parlon. He has no right to them. He dropped 1 engineer and he grabbed all of that map control with essentially very little investment. So now we have 17 Tech 2 mexes. Still gonna now replace some of these. Tech 3 Pigeon needs to go up. Tech 2 Pigeons are out of date at this point. And Parlon is gonna be very close to Tech 3 Air. He has 2 Tech 3 Pigeons. The first Tech 3 Pigeon is a huge boon to your economy on these kind of heavy eco maps. Or these very, well, just very mass heavy maps that it's really important to get that first Tech 3 Pigeon. Torin's still building Tech 2s. What's up, Kite? How's it going? And Torin's not getting the kills on the bricks with his ACU. That's really a major problem. Like he's walking away from what he needs to be killing with that commander. And they're not going to stop moving forward. There's really nothing that can stop them. There's a few snipers out now. No mobile shield at this point. And what is he TMLing? Ah, there actually are targets for his ACU TML. Unless there's some... Oh, there might be TMD here. No, it's a SAM. So yeah, the snipers will be able to do some good damage on the bricks. The question is, how long will they be allowed to live? Because very easily some Corsairs could come in here and take out these snipers. And then what do you have? There goes a brick to sniper fire. There goes a mantis to sniper fire. Still some labs mixed in here. What's this hunter doing? Seem out of place on this battlefield. Oh, maybe a big overcommitment here with this Tech 3 army getting split up, and all of these are going to go down here. All the lawyers is down, one brick remains, and it is dead too. That's a big loss. And maybe a bit overzealous from Paralon, but he's busy elsewhere. Sending his ASF into a massive cloud of Torrens Intis. Dead. Oh, a strap bomber just came through here and bombed 2 Tech 2 pigeons. There's also a dead brick still in the base. Is that the one from before? And Torrens just planning more Tech 2 pigeons and shielding them. Doesn't seem like the way to go. I'm going to assume that the strat died off map there because I don't see it on the map. Tech 3 mobile anti-air on the sides here. Where is this guy going? No idea, but he's in the grave now. And Torrent trying to find kills with his inties, but they're getting massacred at this point. And he's not going to be rebuilding those. Now tries to fly away. 11 kills on the bouncer. 14. Sniper's really doing a fantastic job, though, it has to be said. The problem is, I mean, so easily the Corsairs could come in and kill him, and I think there are some Corsairs on their way now. And there goes your Tech 3 army. There goes the only thing you have at the moment that can really deal damage to the bricks. Another one. There's one remaining. Wow, it actually survived a pass from Corsairs. But it won't survive the next pass, I'll tell you that much. No! Get under the shield! Sniper, get under the shield! He's parked in the exact wrong place. Strap bomber just drops. Bear narrowly misses that sniper. Now the sniper's like, okay, I better get under the shield here. Strap bombs the Tech 2 mechs. Bombs another Tech 2 mechs now. Takes a turn. And what's he aiming for? There's some Tech 2 pigeons in his eye line. And a Tech 2 mechs. There goes a Tech 2 mechs and a Tech 2 pigeon. As he hits the shield, he gets zapped by the lightning tank. And he's going back for more. These mexes aren't shielded. Will he actually get both of them? He will. Oh no, in fact, oh, he did hit both of them, but one of them is actually Tech 3, so it doesn't go down. And yeah, no stealth for Paralon. How long is this thing gonna live? It has 7,000 mass killed now. More mechs is in its island. And it finally gets zapped. Oh my god, he killed 3 mexes with that last attack. Devastation. That strat did incredible damage. And let's just take a look at Torrens' army right now as another strat comes in and finds some unshielded T2 pigeons. The strat will go down. I think. Oh, there it goes. 1 Otham and 5 snipers. That's what Torrent has right now. 1 Otham. 9 bricks from Paralon. And gunships coming after his after Torrent's ACU. What's he doing? He can't run away. He needs to... Well, the flak needs to come back towards him. The pathfinding absolutely appalling around this area as he's trying to chase some loyalists and bouncers that are running into the back of his base. That's not happening. Look at this move order. And his ACU is doomed. He's not building anti-air. He's not getting the flak here in time. And Torrent disconnects from the game. He's had enough. And Paralon wins the series 3-0. Doesn't drop a map against Torrent. Quite a series. This map, I mean, Paralon was really very far behind in this game. And Torrent, I mean, if he could just use a transport one time in the whole game, take this, you know, maybe drop somewhere else on the map on the outskirts. Like the drops were good from Paralon, and yeah, plenty of mistakes from Torrent. A big mass stall, very late Tech 3 land. The ACU TML was really a nice move. From the positions he was in, he could kill a lot of mechs, as you can see. For example, this expansion, that's all being rebuilt because it was all killed by the ACU TML, but not enough, you know, air activity. And well played to Paralon. The Tech 3 air was pretty devastating. Definitely needed some shields. We needed a T3P gen for Torrent, and a couple of SAMs. A couple of SAMs could cover most of the base. As we see from Paralon, he has 2 SAMs on the top side. If he had one more on the bottom side, he'd cover basically his whole base. Just prevents repeat offenders on the in terms of strap bombers. And nice finish. The gunships just ends the game there, and Paralon goes through to the semis. Well played to him. Very, very nice, very clean series for him. 3-0 against Torrent. Look at that graph. Torrent's not going to want to see that. Yeah, DDoSing it was an issue. I don't know, when was it? A few weeks ago? Sub 36. Okay. Let me take a look at something here. I think we'll cover one more series. Right, we're gonna watch Blast versus Yudi, which is another quarterfinal. Yudi went through top of his group. Blast came second in his group. I should have mentioned that for the previous guys, Paralon also was first in his group, and Torrent second in his. So, wow. Okay. What the hell? This looks like burial. What is it? Burial grounds? Yeah, I don't know where the DDoSing came from. It never has been an issue until very recently. But yeah. So we got UD here with the UEF and Blast over here with Cybran. UD may have the highest global rating. Certainly close. I'm gonna take a look. Oh, he actually doesn't. Okay. Ooh, Yuri going double land factory. To abuse the trees. As though this map couldn't get any more ridiculous. Actually, I've played this map in a team game. Yes, I have played this map in a team game. Never seen it played in 1v1. Blast Chill doing something much more normal, which is, you know, abusing trees, but also making the hydro quickly. Not building 2 factories immediately. We'll see how it goes. This will enable UD. This is a very... Well, this is basically possible to make 2 factories immediately because of the tree groups and the amount of energy that you can reclaim at a high speed. Burial mound. Right, thanks a lot. That's it. I was thinking burial grounds wasn't correct. But yeah, it's kind of it's the most reminiscent map to this. Not the same, of course, but I mean, I feel like there's just a denser mechs placement, and also quite a few islands to be grabbed and significant reclaim. About 20k on the map. A lot of it seems to be centralized in the islands. So transport leaves for Blast. Only 4 NGs. On a map of this scale, I don't really like leaving the base with only 4 NGs on a transport. I would really love to have 6 NGs. So they're going to be very, very valuable. So not really a fan of 4 NGs on a transport here, to be honest. So Blast continues base building quite slowly, not much assistance going on. Blast drops 1 NG onto this island, and it's very ungreedy of him to go for a factory first. If that was me, I would be manually reclaiming stuff like all of these rocks, build a mechs, and then build a factory later. I think greed is pretty solid approach here, and he's going for a proxy. So he's going to try and get some play on his opponent's side of the map, which definitely not against at all. He also spots a drop here, so he knows that there's 2 NGs here. He knows the transport has to be around here somewhere. I wouldn't be going in this direction. I would be moving in this direction, to be honest, to look for the transport, unless... Oh, no, he hasn't already locked it. He's just on attack move. So now, yeah, see, now he's kind of sending both the scouts into the same place, and you may lose both of them, which would be very, very bad, actually. You really want to keep these scouts alive. Also, now UD knows that there is a drop here, which makes it very much less effective. Look at this. See, this is what he needed to find. He doesn't know that UD is this close. Blast now dropping his own side. Actually, a lot of rocks here. He's gonna build a factory here. Not sure how I feel about that. Can't afford this. Yeah, I really don't like this factory at all. He's building a lot of factories in different places when really he should be grabbing mass extractors and just... a bit of navy wouldn't go astray. Also now Blast drops all engineers in the same position over here, so... now struggling for energy, and Yudi has much less of a struggle. And his drops overall are just better. Much better to drop here and here than I'd say it is to drop here and here. And then also here. So Blast still not in this position, which means that... Are these guys moved yet? No, they're only moving now, so they've been left idle for a long time. But Yudi now is going to be able to drop in this position. Oh, that's a nice bomber. 3 engineers go down. And doesn't get the next drop, but he will very shortly. The Engies will split themselves up, but those guys were important. They were providing the energy the Blast needs. It looks like now he's he's blessed with a mass stall, so his power should be okay. Oh, I spoke too soon. Or did I? Yeah, so Blast proxy... Not sure how much it's going to be able to do. Doesn't look like much. And this is the kind of map, I'm sure Yudi picked this map. It definitely suits him versus Blast Chilled, I would say. A little bit of navy for both players. A couple of factories for Yudi. One so far for Blast. And Yudi pulling a bit ahead in score and in mass. And the quicker he gets rid of this annoyance, the better it's going to be. And once this is removed, Yudi is going to be plain sailing for him, because it looks like he already has more units. He has more factories, and he can even add more because he still has some engineers around. And if he just mixes in a few Lobos, his base is going to disappear pretty quickly, and he's going to be very safe in his main island, except for certain kind of drops. But on the other side, let there be no end to the factory spamming. It's going to be so annoying for Blast, and he doesn't know it's here. He should expect it to be here. What's the name of this map? Lena River is the map. And yeah, he should expect that there's a drop here. And now, only now does he see it. There's already 4 factories, 6 engineers, and he really doesn't have anything to deal with this. Meanwhile, he is for sure losing this position. He's going to try and build a PD. Should probably get his Mantis to help out here, the few Mantis he has left. But that PD is not going to finish. Next thing we should expect is probably both players moving to Texrier pretty quickly. That seems to be Yudi's plan. He's got 2 P-gens queued up. He's got a lot of Tech 1 power built already. He's got some transports on the move. Still a lot of mexes to be taken. And he may even want to drop on this position. Or actually, if he gets some T1 transports over here, could start dropping this island. It looks very vulnerable. This island could be dropped. If you drop some units on each of these islands, you could take a lot of map control. Blast having a transport get shot down potentially here. Yep. Couple NGs on board. Nosedive into the ground. And these annoying strikers are going to move into the back of the base. Got all that open ground in front of them to run into. Which also shows you how well positioned Yudi's proxy was. You can see there's no way to get past this. So Blast's proxy was completely cut off on the edge of the map. Now if Blast had gotten a proxy here, or just anywhere further along, then it would have been way more annoying for Yudi to deal with. As it was, he dropped basically directly in front of it and said, you have to literally kill my proxy for your one to really do any damage. And now you can see the advantage that a proxy can give you when you have open space in front of you. You can attack the back of the base here into that expansion. He can attack in this direction, which is actually where Blast is building his reaction. But yeah, Yudi gonna be very annoying here, and also probably gonna be tech 3 air sooner. He's already 40% of the way there. Does he have power with only 2 P-gens? He does. A couple of energy storages would probably help. I think he's going to be stalling when he makes the P-gen, but it should be okay. He can pause some air production, perhaps. This bomber being quite annoying. What is it attacking? A naval factory, cool. Blast only 14% now to tech 3R. And I don't think he has as many. Well, he doesn't have as much of anything, really, does he? Yudi with 16 frigates, Blast with 4. Blast has 33 Mantis over here and a couple other units. 38 strikers for Yudi on that side. And in better position as well, he could potentially get a really good trade on this side. If he moves his tanks in, which he's doing. Blast's gonna get a pretty bad trade here. Which is the last thing he needs. Overall, it just looks really good for Yudi. Tech 3 NGs are out. And the grid is planned. Yudi getting pretty far ahead at this point. So yeah, he will stall. I mean, 2 P-gens really shouldn't be enough when you have this much mass available. How many mexes? Jesus, 68 mexes. 70. He has, that's pretty much half the map. I mean, he has these, but he's missing maybe some in the middle, so you basically do get almost, you get like 70 mexes for half the map, so absolutely insane. Blast Chill's making a few more tech 2 than Yudi is. Probably not the best idea. He's actually lost one to bombers? Is that what happened there? Tech 3 P-gen coming up for him, not adjacent. Not adjacent to the air factory, which is a mortal sin. But okay. Yudi now, I think, can make Tech 2 Navy, and UEF cruisers are going to be devastating. Tech 3 Air may also simply end the game. The frigates can move across the map and begin killing. Yeah, they have actually already done so. Begun killing the naval production of Blast Chilled. He cannot protect it. He doesn't have any torpedo defense either to help him. And he doesn't have the frigates to help it. So all in all, he can't deal with the proxy. He's losing navy. He's behind on air. And he's 15k mass down. Literally no upsides for Blast Chilled in this game at the moment. Not the kind of map you want to face Yudi on. And I think his drop was just not very good. I think he needed more NGs, and he needed to drop in a better position. Dropping way out here it's just too far away. It's not invasive enough. If you could drop and get a proxy in this position somewhere, that's going to be, it's just so much more devastating. So much more advantageous to have a proxy there rather than an easy place to drop. But just not as powerful a position at all. So I don't know what Blast can do at this point. We'll see if he comes up with some kind of plan to snipe, but I mean, look at Yudi's vision right now. What can't he see? He has scouts all over the map. He has 12 ASF. I mean, Blast has an Air Force, but he doesn't have enough. Pretty sure he does not have... Oh, okay. He actually does have 12 ASF. Versus 16 now. I mean, this grid is a lot more impressive than what Blast has. 4 T3 air factories. Producing Navy is completely won already. And Tech 2 Navy on the way. And he can basically just stop producing frigates, which is exactly what he does. Don't produce more Navy than you need. Could maybe do with a submarine or two to maybe kill this mechs, but yeah, nice Tech 2 production on this. Oh, this is ugly now for Blast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tech 2 land factories on this side of the map. He's going Tech 3 land himself, but only 22% of the way there. Look at this army. Pretty sure Yudi can just push forward. I mean, holy crap, he's got nearly 30 pillars now. A couple of flak as well and a shield, so it's time to just attack, move forward, and roll over in the land. Can probably force an air fight and win that. Navy is won as we saw, and this is the wrong map to be playing Yudi on. Yudi found a little deep pond to hide in as well. First cruiser comes out for Yudi. And don't see any TMD. Don't see any TMD at all. Okay, here's some TMD. Actually, a lot of TMD all in the one position, but Blast has ecoed extensively in this position, so those will need to be protected. And that doesn't look like it's happening. Oh. First trebuchet from the T3 factory. That's a big mistake to make that trebuchet. And it died. Another treb. Where are the bricks, my dude? Oh, he makes 2 trebs and just they get run over by pillars. Oh, it felt really bad watching that. Is he actually gonna lose? He won't lose the HQ to the bricks, or to the pillars. Sorry, but looks like that air fight might happen soon. And Yudi definitely has more ASF right now. It's not even close. He probably has double. 58 to 31. Yeah, basically double. And this game is over. Blast in a transport cannot avoid flying over. What the hell just happened there? Okay, Yudi refusing to shoot down Blast Shield. Yeah, this is the power of the frigates. Perfect control there. He could see everything. Yudi with hold fire on his frickin' ASFs. Let's see what Blast has. What upgrade does he have? I expect him to have laser, I guess. Fuck is this? Oh, look at all those PDs. Okay, I'm bored. Very one-sided game for Yudi. See game number 2. Okay. Oh, map gen 10 by 10. That is quite a strange one. 37,000 reclaim. Holy. Okay. So we have T3 rec, many T2 recs, and some Tech 1. This has 2 bricks in this pile. So some very severe concentrations of mass. So if we look from Yudi's perspective, nearby is this one. This is the closest. I feel like this brick could potentially be grabbed by a factory attack move to this position. And then the next nearest one is actually the top side where there's 2 bricks and lots of rhinos, I believe. So in terms of mexes though, not that much to fight for. We have, you know, the main base has 3 mexes in it. No, sorry, 5 mexes. And behind that we have quite a safe base back here with 3 mexes, 2 safe mexes behind. And the main base to fight for is going to be in the corners over here. 3 mechs here, 3 mechs here, but obviously most of this game is going to be decided by the near 40k worth of reclaim and the fights over that. Specifically, I'd say these ones. This is pretty equidistant between both players, and the center, there's actually no ramps down there. There's no ramp into the center, which means we're gonna need some airplay very quickly. Transport into the center is going to be very important. Whoever gets there first will likely be gaining a lot more mass than their opponent, because in the center we have nearly 7,500 mass concentrated very heavily in the bricks. So it looks like a similar opening for both of them. 2 mech marines being very chill. Actually, they're here to cover a Celine. So second air from Yudi, a lot of P-gens for him. Really front loading on the power because he knows he has a lot of mass to be grabbed here. Tank defending against the lab. And yeah, where are these tanks going? Keep them on the move. Second land, third air for Blast Shield. Not respecting the air play on this map. I would definitely be going second air on this map, considering this portion of the map needs to be fought for with air. Oh, Blast actually has a different plan. He's going to edge build with, like, I don't think that, I think he needs to place that a little bit. Oh, he can't. I don't think that engineer can reach. Gonna be honest. Over here is very easy reach. Down from the cliff. Here, there's kind of a... Yeah, I'm not sure. That's going to be very important. Like, if he actually can build a factory down there, it's going to be long before a transport arrives, unless there's one being built very quickly by Yudi. Which, I mean, there could be, but he really can't. He honestly can't afford a transport at this point. Needs the power to spend his mass. He has 5 Tech 1 factories. And so does Blast. Nope, that engineer failed in his mission. And he sulks away. The ACU himself could certainly get a factory done down there. He's going to try again. And he's going to be very specific. Well, actually, he could go closer to the edge there, I'm sure. I don't think this is going to work either. I'm going to be honest. Nope. Easy drone map, says Thomas. That's not a bad idea. But I'd much rather edge build a factory down there, to be honest. Instead, Blast is going to head over to this mass field with his ACU. Doesn't want to sidetrack him. Blast not spending mass fast enough. This is true. He still has all of this reclaim to grab, which is significant, and he just does not have the power. He's not invested enough in power. He only has 16 P-gens. If we look at Yudi, he has... Wow, he actually has 16 as well. However, he's paused there, so that gives him a lot more power to work with, and he's managed to use all of this initial reclaim field, we'll call it. In terms of units, 32 tanks, few Zuis as well. Similar unit numbers, certainly more for Yudi, but Blast should probably just pause air. Just he cannot afford to be producing air right now. Actually built a random T1 P-gen over here. Not the worst idea. But both of them have similar ideas. They're both going in the same direction relative to each other. And both of them are going to secure... Oh, actually, Blast has been sidetracked. He's been sidetracked and he's turning around and walking away from the reclaim field. There is no point in chasing 5 tanks. Wait, 6 tanks. Stop chasing the 6 tanks. Look at this. He's just lost 1,000 mass from this reclaim field now. To 1 NG. Because he chased 6 T1 tanks. That's pretty sad to watch. Yudi's already here reclaiming the brick. Is Blast going Tech 2 land? I don't think so. Oh, he is actually, yeah. Slowly, with no assistance. He's also making a Tech 2 mechs, and that's these things are related to his mass stall, that's for sure. Or not his mass stall, his power stall. What's up, Saf? Is it always best to build most of your facts in your core base? Let's see. I would say almost always. Vast majority of the time. Bit of a raid into the back base, but only 1 mech will go down. He will distract several tanks and some artillery and Selines and things. But at this point, Yudi has taken a big lead because he's just been at the reclaim field significantly before Blast, because Blast got distracted by some shiny objects running past. Shiny alien objects. 73. He's got about 100 Tech 1 units now. And Blast has 33. He's way behind in units. So far behind in units. And a Tech 2 mechs and a Tech 2 land almost complete is not going to be, well, just finished now. First Tech 2 unit comes out and it's an NG, unsurprisingly. That's not going to make up for being about 70 units behind. And also having less of the reclaim because your opponent has stolen some. No, it's better to have the factories in your base because you will build them quicker and they will be safer. Factories are actually, you know, something you don't want to lose. And if they're on the front line, they probably will die. And speaking of death, Blast Shield is faced with an entire army and has very little to back him up. A few strikers are actually actively running away from the battle as their commander is under severe threat of exploding. Uh-oh. Looks pretty bad for Blast. He will get a veterancy, so there's a chance if some units arrive for him, he can survive. Where's the overcharges? I don't see any. Shooting Selines is a good idea. Shooting Zuis is also good. Because they have less HP, they'll die faster. Give more veterancy, but he's not living through this, is he? What was that shot there? And I think we're about to see a very quick end, although overcharge comes in. That didn't kill as much as I expected it to, and some reinforcements arriving. And UD's units are on the move again, which means they are back to focusing on enemy tanks and artillery rather than the commander. So Blast looks like he will survive for a short period of time here, but his reinforcements are gone, and he is surrounded. There are some critical mistakes as UD prepares some fancy drops into the middle. Yeah, some critical mistakes there from Blast. Just a Tech 2 mechs, multiple Tech 2 mexes, Tech 2 land, when the reclaim is still there to be fought for. Once again, it's like people just not recognizing that they need to invest in getting the reclaim or the mass in general in terms of mexes or reclaim or whatever it is, but you have to invest in taking that and also walking away from the being distracted by a few tanks. ASU can't chase tanks down. It's the slowest unit in the game, basically, barring one or two exceptions, and you can't chase anything down. So you have to make a beeline for this one of the reclaim fields and take it. So big errors there from Blast. You can see UD not a single mex upgrade here. Not a single one, and also not even any Tech 2 land either. It's a lot of Tech 1. I mean, he could easily have afforded Tech 2 land. At this point, the game is certainly over whether Blast dies or not. So well played to UD though. No real mistakes from him, to be honest. Close factory will produce more units than a fire factory in the same time frame. What? No, it won't. That doesn't make any sense. So 2-0 to UD. Also, given the question was asked in the context of a 10 by 10 map, that is part of the context I answered. Oh, wait, close factory. Do you mean close factory? Which do you mean by close and far, though? Because I was thinking close factory you mean by close to the front, but I guess you mean in the base. So, okay. That's what I'm not sure about, what you meant there. Another map gen, and this time it's 20 by 20. Close isn't close in the base. In the context of a 10 by 10 map, you want most of your production in your main base. Then you can choose where it goes, and your factories and production are safe. And your engineers that are building them are safe, so you don't, like... Yeah, you just don't build on the front line. 20 by 20 map, it's totally different, and it depends entirely on the map layout. So, what have we got? This is an interesting map here. A lot of mass on the main island, and many small islands, but with very tight-knit mexes generally. These mexes can't be killed by, you know, a lot of these can't be killed by frigates. Probably that one can't be either. The cliff is too high. Some in the back, these are raidable, so we're going to see very quick navy. And these positions on the bottom and the top will have to be dropped. Most likely. There are beaches onto every island, however. A lot of beaches on the main island as well, so you could build some safe production at the back. Probably more likely to see it at the front, as UD is doing. UD has Aeon. Blast has Cyber, I think. I might rather Cybern, just for the frigate power. Navy is going to be the most important thing in this map, I will predict. Big surprise considering the percentage of water we see. Blast's going to build some production here. I kind of like having production here because it stops. Like, if you have raidable mexes and you put land factories, or sorry, naval factories in front of them, it gets harder to raid them because you have production there, and also they have to path past the factories to get in at the mexes. So, not a bad idea to put some factories here. I'd probably try and place them more accurately close to the land, but that's pretty good. Actually, they can't go right in tight, so yeah, build stuff in your base. Simple as. That'll do for most of what you're dealing with. You deal with the transport out quickly, and it's fully laden with build power. 6 engineers on a colonial mission. Probably no more than 1 or 2 in each position. 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 spots being dropped. He'll drop 2 in one position and 1 in the rest. UD scouts a bomber in the base of Blast as Blast wins air. Nice. Low HP NT should be taken out pretty soon. Yeah. It's locked by the enemy NT. And that's not a move order that will let you escape. He could have potentially given a move order way far away and ran away for a long time, which is generally what you would like to do if you you know, your inties are under attack or your ASFs are under attack. You want to basically keep them alive as long as possible, because it just you know, have they really won air control if they're still chasing your inties all the way across the 20 by 20 map? Oh, yeah, questionable. So this looks nice for UD. UD taking what seems to be the sensible dropping position. Oh, NG's just on the move just as the bomber arrived because they're building the next factory. So only gets 1 kill before an Inti arrives. Will he get... Nope, that's it. Just 1 kill for the bomber. He could have potentially killed all 3 with 1 bomb, but the timing did not work out. Blast Chill is going to the top side from here, and as we can see, he spawns much closer to the bottom side of the map, so a bit unusual that he goes in that direction. Yudi's dropping seems to be very good. His expansion is guaranteed to be faster. Now look, he gets what? Yudi not happy about losing the reclaim war there, but overall he should be happy because he had, wow, he's building PD in every spot. That's pretty expensive. Oh, he's gonna build some mass storage. That's a template. He's chosen the wrong template there, so it's sad for him. And his transport has actually been found somehow. But yeah, look at his expansion. It's simply better, even with the fact that he's invested in basically all these positions, including this one where he's got a PD unfinished, which by the way would be nice to reclaim for Blast. It would give him mass and energy. But yeah, good expansion from Yudi. Now Blast will try and drop the other side. Don't think he should drop here. He already has an engineer walked up to this island, which is fair enough. Not sure investing in a factory there is great. If you invest in a factory on these kind of islands, I'm sure Zlo would agree, you should build an air factory. It's going to be, well, it's much more likely to be useful in the long term. Blast investing in Tech 2 mechs and even a second one, and trying to go Tech 2 air. He's not continuing to produce P-gens. He only has 660 power. Cannot afford what he's trying to do, and is not really reacting with more power production. He just wants to power through this upgrade. But you see, the problem is he's still expanding. So if you think about it, as he's still expanding, his power needs are going to continue to grow. So by the time he actually finishes the upgrade and then starts the Tech 2 P-gen, his power situation is only going to be worse. It's not going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be better. It's going to be worse. Okay, it looks like he is actually making some extra P-gens. Okay, I was wrong. He made a few extra. Well, let's take a look at Yudi's position now. He has 1100 power. Far more than Blast. And he's going Tech 2 air as well. But he's much more focused on Navy by the looks of it. 6 factories complete. 6.5 on the field. And I actually do have 7 finished for Blast Shield. Cyber bombers are bad though. Well, better than Aeon at least. Still useful. 300 damage possible. Unlikely, I guess, but there's still Tech 1 bombers. So Tech 2 Pigeon going up. Look at that stall. Oh. Yeah, that hurts. Tech 2 Pigeon for Yudi coming up. He will have plenty of power to actually afford this. Some assist on Navy as well. Yeah, true. He does have some assistance on the front. Not adding any more factories right now. Yeah, the power stall is absolutely brutal for Yudi. Remember that the basics of subcom are eco management. If you can't handle the economy, then can't handle the game basically. And there's some mistakes happening from Blast Chill, but he's still in an okay position. His P-gen will be done before, or it should be done right now, and Yudi gonna have his very soon. He's gonna overflow a lot of this power that he's gonna have here. Bomber's actually nice versus Aeon Frigs, yeah. Oh yeah. True enough. No anti-air on the Aeon Frig. Nor on the Aeon Destroyer. Oh, this could be a very bad fight for Blast. Cannot afford to take this fight here. Has to run away. Rely on some reinforcements. And also, I think it's time to add more naval production. Simply by assisting, if that's the case, or maybe just add more factories at this point. Another Tech 2 Pigeon would also be good, especially before you start reclaiming Tech 1. Do not start reclaiming Tech 1 yet. Get the Tech 2. Another Tech 2 Pigeon would be needed before I'd feel comfortable reclaiming Tech 1 right now. There is an AC upgrade, which is Stealth. Yeah, I hovered over that but didn't mention it. It is Stealth, so he's pretty chill upgrade, but now he's thinking about Torpedo, I believe. I think that was Torpedo that was in the works, but he does not have power for that. Again, he still really needs another P-Gen before he goes in. Let me see, is there anti-air in these positions? There's no anti-air here. No anti-air here. No anti-air here. He actually has built all those 5 mass storages, which is funny. Instead of a PD. So I think the bombers, they are actually going in after the frigates. But imagine if there's a bomber in each position at the same time. How are you going to click on all of them? Most of them are bound to do significant damage before they are killed and before anti-air is dispatched in the form of inties, basically. And Blast has gone idle. You cannot look away from an air fight in the middle of it. He may still... Well, it looks like a win for UD, in fact. And, yeah, there's a couple of Swifties mixed in there, which makes all the difference. But the naval fight is lost. Now, the thing is, with air lost, torpedo bombers are going to be very effective. Cyber frigs, I mean, Cyber frigs are probably their worst enemy in terms of frigates, but still they're torpedo bombers, so they're going to do well. Blast shield making torpedo is very, it's expensive, and I struggle to see how it's going to work out for him because it's a 20 by 20 map. The problem is the ACU is very slow, especially in the context of Navy. Frigates move at 6 speed, and an AC moves at about a third of that. Why do you build all this PD? Yeah, I think it's a mistake, really. Well, it stops engineers from just dropping and then taking the mexes. But I think an anti-air would be good. But to be honest, I mean, UD is not suffering from bombers too much. There goes the the mass storage. It's actually good that the mass storage got killed because that's just mass that UD wants. So there's a little bit of damage happening, but there could be a lot more bomber raiding because, I mean, look, there's never any anti-air in any of these positions. Everything could be bombed very quickly. And here comes an entire air force dispatched after a single bomber. So it shows you the power of a raid there. So yeah, some bomber raiding would be nice. I'm expecting some Tech 2 Navy pretty soon. I don't see it just yet. I expect this factory may go Tech 2 some point soon, but yeah, he doesn't really have the mass for it right now. Overflowing lots of power. Making some air staging to repair and refuel his inties. Very important on a 20 by 20 map. And when you have high health units like Swiftwinds, fighting and then repairing them afterwards is really very valuable. Blast Shield has gotten himself forward via T2 transport, and the torpedoes are flying. UD is getting a great fight though in the meantime. See how he has 2 groups, and they're basically both being used to focus down individual frigates at a time. So you can see this group focus on these frigates here. This group focus on one frigate at a time, pretty much, taking them down very quickly. This is the best way to take these kind of fights. And Blast arrives at the front, but as he loses a fight, he's making some forward production. A lot of this is going to be for engineers to actually get the reclaim. And another problem is that Aeon frigates have torp defense. So, and he's definitely losing air here. He's absolutely dominated in air, and I feel like the way this game ends is this poor ACU, looking to be a freaking underwater Rambo, is gonna just get torped very, very quickly. How can he possibly protect himself against this force of swift winds? I do not know. The frigates are just running away. I don't know where the Aeon frigates are going. Now he does have stealth, so he's basically safe for now until a frigate gets over his head and shows that water vision and shows the ACU he can't be targeted. Sonar is not enough to spot him. Anti-air goes up in the base to deter the Swifties. Was he going Tech 3 air there, or was I seeing things? I think I was seeing things. Is there Tech 2 Navy? No, it's all frigates. It's all frigates. Blast is taking mass with his ACU. One thing I don't like about this is he's power stalling, which means stealth will not run. It takes power to run stealth on the commander, and also he doesn't have Tech 2. Tech 2 would be it's very often the case that you have Tech 2 and stealth and torp. With only stealth and torp, you are even more vulnerable. You're already very vulnerable with Tech 2, but without it, for one, you're not going to be able to reclaim as fast, and for two, you're not going to be able to make anti-air quickly. You're not going to be able to make anything quickly. And now there's torps overhead and a destroyer, Aeon destroyer, which has depth charges and torpedoes. It's going to do huge amounts of damage. And it's going to be the end for Blast. He's trying to load into a transport, which is admirable, but he's not going to make it. And there he goes. I can't say that that was an unpredictable finish to the game, but that's the series. 3-0 for Blast Shield, or against Blast Shield for UD. And pretty convincing from UD. Pretty convincing in pretty much all the games. I mean, the first game was quite uninteresting. The second one, serious mistakes. And then this one, again, I feel like the maps maybe suited UD. Maybe he got a bit lucky in the map gen. How it played out. But overall, UD just a level above Blast here in this series, and he 3-0s him in the quarters and goes through to the semis. And that's the last series we'll do for today. I think next time we will do the other two quarterfinals, and eventually we'll get through the entire playoffs. So don't forget to like the stream if you enjoyed it, and check out the links and stuff, and the description. Hope you enjoyed. There will be a Crazy Rush tournament on Saturday. I don't know if I'll be casting or playing or whatever, but we shall see. Stay tuned for that, and yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time, guys. Have a good one.